David Angotti is going to do a little fireside chat with our CEO Amiad, talking about where Guesty started, just like all of you. So please put your hands together and welcome back to the stage David Angotti and Amiad Soto.
In case you're wondering, this is not Steve Schwab. We were supposed to have the interview of Steve Schwab.
A little shorter.
Yeah. You guys are in for a treat. The story here of how Guesty was founded, where Guesty is today, and where we are going is what we're going to cover. I want to just start, I think, at the beginning. What's going on here?
Now you all need to guess which one is me and which one is Kobe. I'm the one with the red shirt. Basically, we started as twin brothers living in Tel Aviv University. And while on summer vacation, I'm talking back 2012, 2011, putting our place, each one separate on, back then Airbnb was not as popular as it was a few years later, but we tried this platform and both of us had this experience. There is way too much work involved. So we told each other about it, and we felt like there needs to be a solution for this. There's no way Airbnb is going to explode like they were with so much work involved. And we created this company called Superhost.
Feels like I've heard that word before somewhere else.
Actually, this was before Airbnb used it. So Airbnb had something called Superhost, but then they shut it down. And we created this company called Superhost. Neither one of us had the superhost.com. We had booksuperhost.com. And superhost.com was a web hosting company. So we were not extremely attached to this name, as you will see in a couple more slides. Long story short, we applied with this idea to Y Combinator, which is a startup accelerator in Silicon Valley. This person is Paul Graham. Paul Graham is the founder of Y Combinator. He has the same picture with the Airbnb founders, by the way. And if you click one more click, you will see us in the Y Combinator office. Now, Paul Graham had this exact conversation with the Airbnb founders, where they were complaining about how much work is it to be a host. So when we came in and showed a demo of what was supposed to be an AI engine, but back then it was no AI, like it was completely random. Long story short, we got accepted into the Winter 14 class.
I think people are still complaining it's too much work.
It's still too much work, yes.
So I love this picture. This is my favorite picture of you.
Yeah, I look like a baby without a beard, don't I?
So what are you doing here?
This is Dolores Park in San Francisco on a Sunday. We were growth hacking, which means we didn't have any money and we were trying to look for customers. Basically what it was is we reached out on forums. I cold reached on host on Airbnb, because back then Airbnb did not block people from reaching out. So I reached out to people and said, hey, I'm managing people, for cleaning and managing their communication. After 5 or 6 times, I got blocked from Airbnb for a couple of years. So that's how I try to find hosts. And I actually was successful, lucky enough. Every time I went to Dolores Park, I found a host on Airbnb this way. And
where'd that conversation go? Like, I'm just curious.
Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna host on Airbnb. Yeah. It's like, and I was like, yeah, is it a lot of work? Do you want me to do it for you? And apparently, one of the people that I found being a host lived right above my my place in San Francisco. So that was really funny. But yes, that was growth hacking on the early days. And this is me cleaning one of the apartments of one of our hosts after the cleaner didn't show up. We were booking cleanings on Exec and HomeJoy. Back then, there were a lot of companies trying to build the Uber for cleaners. And after I met with several of them, of the founders of those companies, I had this experience of like, whoa, all of them look miserable. And I was miserable cleaning people's homes too when the cleaner didn't show up. Let's pivot.
But I want to stop here for a second. You've raised almost $500 million in funds now for Guesty. It's easy to look at you as this tech entrepreneur with this unicorn.
Yeah.
that picture right here, it took that to get to where you are today.
Yeah,
So-
100%. I think that I was humble enough to understand, like, you know, the job needs to be done. I cleaned a couple homes a day in the beginning, toilets and all, everything. And that time took me, you know, multiple months to realize this is not my strong suit. Managing cleaners really wasn't our strong suit. We were computer geeks. We like coding and writing automation. So that led us to the pivot that we were doing a few months later. Back then, 2014, the buzzword of the day was not AI, it was cloud. Okay, I don't know if you remember, cloud was everything. So we decided, let's do property management in the cloud. Basically just doing everything remotely, kind of like red-owning, if you think about it, like for individual hosts. Took us 6 more months to realize it's, again, not the main suite, but we did build a lot of tools to do that. And those tools really clicked with some of our customers that were doing property management at scale.
Do you think your tools would have been as good if you weren't cleaning toilets?
Not really. One of the tools was guest communication. That led us to build the best inbox in the market, was building a tool to respond to guest messages. I think one of our early customers that really helped us define our product, I remember him to this day. His name is Ryan Scott. He was in San Diego. He managed 20 properties on the beach there. And most of our customers were individual hosts back then, and he was managing 20 properties and basically used us to handle his guest communication and scheduling and everything. And when we looked at him, we realized that's our best customer. And we decided to pivot once again to software for the Ryan Scotts of the world.
Wow.
And that's what we're still doing to this day. So I think that it took us a couple times of trials and errors to figure out what's our strength and double down on it.
You know, I'd like to say I've talked to quite a few of you here at this conference, and some of you are at the beginning of your business, 5, 10 properties. And if this story doesn't encourage you, I don't know what will. And I would like to just say, if you can go from cleaning a property to sitting here, I bet you would have never imagined that even in your wildest dreams.
To be truly honest, in the beginning I felt like this is going to be amazing, I'm going to become a millionaire, to this is going to go to zero multiple times in a day. It was like eating shards of glass for multiple years until I started to really feel like we're nailing it.
That sounds fun.
I think that the next slide shows some of the, if you go click for a second, this is an example of how Airbnb looked back then. And this is how we reached out to individual hosts on hey, we're doing this thing where we manage people's properties remotely. And as you can see, Airbnb was really not supportive of it. But they reached out to us after a few months and said, hey guys, we want to relaunch our Superhost program. And you guys are really doing well with this Superhost brand, but we want to use it. And we didn't have the superhost.com, so we talked to them about it and decided to change to Guesty. Here you can see some of the names we considered. I'm happy that we didn't go with any, but Guesty really landed nicely for us. And as you can see, we didn't really do well with logo design in the beginning.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Did you design that one?
No. I don't want to take any credit for any of this. But I really like the suitcase one, the suitcase within a home.
Yeah.
But a few years later, we landed with what's now being the Guesty symbol.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions here before we move on to the current phase of Guesty and then the future. The first is, sitting where you are now, if you could have told yourself something back then at the beginning, what piece of advice would that have been?
Focus on the people. The thing that really makes Guesty what it is today is the quality of the people we have. And I think that that's what I'm keeping hearing from many of the people I meet here in Guestival, is oh, I love Taylor. Oh, I love Keegan. Oh, I love here and there. People really like our team. People just love our team. And the team is what really makes Guesty unique. It's, yes, we build amazing technology. Yes, we are great in branding and marketing, a lot of stuff. But the people are really what makes it so powerful. And I think that over the last 11 years, well, we started without any money, so we couldn't really pay to get the talent we have right now. But over the years, I think that we were really successful in bringing on board amazing talent and retaining that talent. I think right now the average tenure at Guesty is over 5 years.
Which is phenomenal for a tech company.
Yes, and I think that among our executives, it's even higher than that. So I think that we really like to promote from within. We really like to give people a chance to grow within the company. And I'm really, really happy and humbled by the quality of people that we have at Guesty.
So if that's the piece of advice you'd give yourself, what piece of advice would you give somebody that's just starting out, that person with 5 to 10 properties today that feels like this is a grind, probably feels like they're eating glass, to use your words? What would you tell them?
I think one of the things that we learned at Y Combinator is that it's better to make 100 people really love you than to make 10,000 people sort of like you. So I would focus on that. I would focus on, hey, get your first 10 customers to be absolutely in love with you. And we did. We did. I think that we were obsessed about making our customers extremely happy. Like, for years, they had my personal phone number. I got calls all over 24 hours a day. And I think that, over the years, that was really something that enabled us to get to where we are. Is having people extremely happy and in love with our product. After you get to the first 100, it's much easier to scale to the 10,000 because those 100 people who extremely love you become your ambassadors. And that creates the values that you follow afterwards. So I think that that's the most important advice.
We're going to start talking about where we are today. I want to know what you are most proud of in the Guesty software today.
That's a tough one. I'm proud of a lot of stuff, but you will see that I constantly push the team to change. I actually told the product team that if there's any code, any line of code that exists for more than 24 months, that it should be deleted and get replaced. I really believe in product iteration and not in resilience of code. I think code should always get replaced with a better line of code. And product should always keep innovating. And I think that the next session would be the product roadmap. And as you will see, it's a lot of changes. It's a lot of changes. I'm extremely proud of what we built, but I'm also extremely proud about our future. I'm really excited about what we are building.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
You're jumping ahead. So, one of the things I would say that I think is really fantastic about the Guesty software, especially relative to the rest of the market, is the distribution. Something that I really have been close to through the years, having owned OTAs. And I think part of what makes Guesty so great at it is just the fact that we've bought multiple channel managers. We've bought OTAs. We understand all the sides of the equation. And right now, in a year where there's compression in a lot of markets, the bookings are maybe down a little bit. That distribution excellence pays dividend.
Yes.
So that maybe my favorite thing is in it. In terms of where you look at the software today and you're like, there's an opportunity for us to be a lot better. What is that?
Definitely AI. I think that AI is already embedded in many ways in our product. Some are pretty obvious to our customers because we brand them as AI, like Reply AI and our price optimizer. But we are actually involving AI in a lot more deeper phases inside the product. And we're going to do this even more so. I think that the future is very exciting about AI, and we're only seeing the beginning of it. I think that the future of AI inside our software suite would involve making sure that we not only execute on whatever our customer wishes, but also raise issues in the system. Have our agents run in the background, figure out things that our customers aren't really aware of, and bring it to their attention while also bringing a solution. one of the things that a good manager always want to tell their employees, like, hey, don't just bring me a problem, bring me the solution already. Like, so AI should bring both. It should raise an issue, but also bring, like, here's the solution that we've come up with, and do you approve us to do it? So I think that that's an area of a lot of investment. We already created a full team that is dedicated on delivering AI inside the product.
One of the things I think that when I look at Guesty today, that you have done an exceptional job with is culture. I joined the team almost 4 years ago now, and when I joined, felt very welcomed. My team felt very welcomed, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on culture and how to build a culture that really delivers excellence for your customers.
Yeah, I remember, like, I'm a first-time founder, so I didn't know what culture was even mean. I think that I remember in one of the Y Combinator group meetings, Kobe, my twin, asked, how do we build great culture? And we really didn't realize what does it mean, but eventually it means whatever the founders are doing, everyone else copies. That's it. If the rest of the team sees you being extremely upset about something that should be upsetting, everyone now recognizes this is what's acceptable, this is what's not acceptable. If everyone sees you picking up a piece of paper or trash from the floor and putting it in the trash, everyone else would not be, accepting it. And everything you do gets replicated. And that's why I was very much involved with the first, I think, 400 hires of the Guesty team members. I was involved with each one because I wanted to make sure that the team we hire are people that would replicate the same culture and accepting the same culture up to a point where I couldn't be involved anymore because it was too much. Guesty is now like 900 people worldwide. I'm still involved with every director level hire and more, but it's one of the things I put a lot of emphasis on.
Yeah, I remember the first time Bill on my team met you. We were in Italy at a company event, and you knew who he was, you knew about him, you knew about his family, and he came up to me and he's like, what the F? Who is this guy? Like, does he know this on every single employee at the company? And it just showed him in a meaningful way how much you cared about him. So
I actually, in interviews, I spent a lot of the interview asking about people's personal life. I think that shows what people care about.
Yeah.
And, I spend a lot of time understanding people, like motivation, what they are trying to get through, like what is their aspiration and ambitions, which sometimes also shows me if the person is the right fit for the company or not. If we want someone for longer term to grow within the company, is that what they're looking for?
So I want to move to the future here for just a minute, and then we're going to open it up to audience questions. So be thinking now if you have a question for Amiad here in a second. So you started talking about AI, and I let you off the hook really easily a second ago.
Okay.
You just said AI and real general.
Well, I have to. It's a buzzword.
So I want to hear, give me some specific ways that Guesty will implement AI solutions that will make these people's lives better.
Yeah, I don't want to steal the thunder from the product presentation, so I won't give too much. But I want to say that there are multiple areas that we already see a lot of potential. Revenue management is one. I think that revenue management could be more simplified and more automated. Obviously, there's many companies, including our own, who offer automation on revenue management, but none of them involve bringing up areas to improve that are sufficient. And I think AI should definitely help with that. Another one is owner management, owner acquisition, obviously guest communication, and of course, managing maintenance and housekeeping. Managing maintenance, housekeeping should definitely involve a lot more automation, a lot more AI. It's a repeated work. It's involved a lot of unexpected stuff, but unexpected stuff that could be automated.
I'd say being the largest PMS in the world, having a channel manager like Reynolds United in addition to that, gives us so much data to work with relative to everybody else out there. Can you talk through what that actually means?
Yeah, I don't know if people understand that we actually have a data team that is as big as 30 people. Our data team not only collects data, it structures this, and also we have a data science team that try to find where algorithms can really get beneficial insights out of this data. Big chunk of the reason why we acquired Rentals United, you brought it up, was the amount of data that we have access to. And we want to use that data to feed it into the AI and come up with the most insights and better outcomes for our customers. So I think that we're very fortunate to be sitting on a junction of data that is unique. It's unique because it's not only data that OTAs have access to, but it's also the operational side, it's the financial side, it's the chargeback side. That's why we launched Guesty Pay, because we were aware of a tremendous amount of issues around payments, and we want to do more around that.
Love that. Who has a question for Amiad? See one over here, if we could wait for the mic.
So Amiad, I just wanted to let you know we used a couple different softwares before going with Guesty, and it's really...
Can you make it louder here?
Yes, it's a little louder. I just want to say thank you. We used a couple other softwares before we used Guesty, and it really has made a big difference for us in our family business. And I see what you're doing to help people build their family wealth, generational wealth, and it's making a big difference. I wonder what we can do, down here in the audience as users. How can we help you? Because I just want to champion what you're up to.
That's very thoughtful. It's an easy question. Thank you so much. That was not planned. I'll pay you later. First of all, thank you for your kind words. We actually launched an ambassador program. We have about 100 or 90 customers who are currently in this. I will be more than happy to open it up for more. I think that this is in test. Please reach out to our CRO and VP Customer Success. They are in charge of it. Our ambassador program was built specifically for that, for our best customers to continue to spread the word and also get benefit from it. So thank you for the question. If you're not currently in the ambassador program, please join it.
Other questions?
Thank you for the softball. You can throw me some difficult ones.
I'm not sure how difficult this will be, but I'm very curious. So there are lots of people here who manage teams, and you shared a bit about your resilience early on. I'd love to hear how you manage your team, keep people inspired and focused in the middle of big setbacks, challenges to the company. How
awesome.
do you,
I had my
keep
first.
people moving?
Sorry. I had my fair share of challenges in the last 11 years. We had an amazing skyrocketing growth, and then boom, a pandemic that we suffered from, just like everyone else in this room. For us, by the way, it hit us with immediately panicked investors, and right after that we had a war in Ukraine. We have a big team in Ukraine, about 100 people, and then a year later a war in Israel where we have a big team there too. So we have a fair share of challenges. I think that the number one thing I did well was transparency. I am, and the Guesty team can attest to it. Every month we have an all hands. During challenging month like the pandemic, I had an all hands almost every couple days. All hands almost every couple days, where I opened up the kimono, showed the numbers, showed everything, how much money we have in the bank, everything, and took open questions. To this day, there's an open anonymous forum for every Guesty employee to ask me anything. If you don't believe that, ask the Guesty team. I answer any question, including what's my favorite color, if I was a teddy bear, which kind of ridiculous questions I get asked. But I answer everything, and I think that that's one of the things that the team really appreciated. The fact that I'm such an open book. I share the challenges and also the good things. I give shout outs to team members. I appreciate them a lot, and I support a lot. So, and we grow from within the company a lot. So I think that creates a good culture where everyone is, heading towards the same goal and are aligned.
I would just add on to that, the transparency you're talking about there, I have not seen that at another company I've worked at. What that does is it allows us to celebrate wins together as a team, and allows us to help solve problems as a team when something's falling short too. So it really does produce the culture and what the question I think was getting at. So other questions? Right down here.
First of all, congratulations on scaling the business. I believe I was one of the earlier users in Guesty. When
You
we met
were.
in Paris
I remember you.
back in 2018. My question is, when scaling a business, like a lot of things fall through the cracks, and how do you maintain such a positive attitude and focus on the positive as opposed to focusing on what's falling through the cracks?
You fake it. To your employees, you have to be strong. You have to always show resilience. Everyone needs to see that you're there. They need to know that you got their back. But when you go home, I'm really supportive from my awesome wife. She had to handle me during some of the difficult days. I think that there were days where I was like broken down completely. I had to like go home, go to bed and say, well, this is one of those days. And wake up to another day and really crush it. We actually me and my twin had a lot of fights in the early days. And what really kept us going, you know how founders like sometimes get disputes and this could kill a company. What really got us going is we have a saying that we said to each other was like, we still have to report to the same mother the next day. That led us for the first 4 years. After that, he went on a Vipassana, and that changed him, whatever. But that's a different story. But I think that it's challenging. I think being an entrepreneur is all about managing yourself, your energy and your emotional self. It's not easy. To this day, I think I've managed to grow a lot. I think that's my personal journey. It's a journey that's still ongoing.
Who else?
Hey, right here.
Nope.
I'm just curious, after these past couple of days of meeting with customers, clients, partners, vendors, friends, employees, like what's one takeaway that you're going to take back to New York with you?
Ooh, you're stealing from my closing session. I have 4 takeaways there. I think that one of the takeaways is listening. I think that a big chunk of the reason why we have Guestival is to meet our customers and to listen. The amount of learnings we take from events like this and interactions that we have throughout the last few days is priceless. I think that we constantly interview our customers. If you talk to our product people, that's their daily work. Is almost every product I review, they also show me the amount of feedback they got from interviewing customers. But it's priceless to have people in the room like this and show them things, get feedback immediately. One of our values at Guesty is caring. We really care about the product we deliver. We really care when things get broken. And I think that events like this also enable us to hear where things are going well, also getting great feedback, not just the negative stuff, because sometimes those are the loudest, but sometimes just hearing, you really helped us. I heard from one of the guys here how we helped them scale from 5 to 300 properties and how grateful they are. I was like, that's an amazing story. So thank you guys for giving us great feedback.
I think we have time for one more.
One last question.
Right down here.
Hello. Might be a weird question. Do you have any plans to become your own OTA? What are some features OTAs are missing right now?
Great question. Do we have plans of becoming our own OTA? In the past, we did have a plan like that. We called it GOTA, Guesty OTA. I'm not kidding. It's also the greatest of time or whatever. But no longer. I think that the OTAs do a fantastic job, and so does our customers. Our customers build their own brand, and we want to be the empowering of their brand. I think that Guesty is a back software and not the front software. Our focus is to make you the centerpiece and not ourselves. I think the best technology is the technology you don't even notice is there. And that's what we want to make sure that we do. We empower you guys, our customers, to be the front. You are your own brand, and we want to empower you to be the repeat guest engine. We want to be the engine inside.
Thank you for sitting down today, Amiad, and answering the questions from the audience as well as me.
Thank
and
you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you, everyone.